Here it is by popular demand. The Awesafe biometric quick access pistol safe. Oh, come on. You got biometrics. You got buttons you can push. You've got a light show on the inside. And if this thing looks an awful lot like the Sentry safe quick access pistol safe, that is because it's the same thing. It's the same exact device. I've got a steel cable tie here. I'm going to shove in this crack at the side and try to bump the release. So now I'll reposition the camera and give you a better angle on what just happened. Right here is the gap that I took advantage of. The latching assembly for this thing is built onto this piece. The whole thing slides in here and it butts up against the inside of the box and it leaves a gap. So what I did was slide my metal shim in around the door and into that gap. And then I pushed it in and it slid over here beneath the latch and bumped the release. Now I know you could seal up this gap with some JB weld or something like that. I wouldn't bother because this thing is fitted with a tubular lock, and I'll show you why I don't like these. This tubular lock has varied spring tension on the pins, so the springs will be heavy, light, and so on. That will prevent you from using your standard tubular lock pick. But these things can still be single pin picked, and I'm going to do that right now. The reason I do not like tubular locks is that every time you turn the key in one of these things, the pins on the top and the bottom, they separate at the shear line and they abrade slightly against the body of the lock, which is always going to be something harder than brass. The pins are brass. And so every time you turn the key in one of these things, you're basically wearing down the pins. And what happens is that when the electronic components in these kinds of devices fail, the user, the owner of the safe, starts relying on the bypass, in this case a tubular lock, and then they contact me and tell me that their locks don't work anymore. And what I've discovered is that your average tubular lock will hold up under regular daily use for about 4 to 6 months, and that's it. They'll fail. So it really doesn't make sense to install this type of lock on lock boxes or handgun safes.